this. If we're going to talk about the world, we're going to use the pearl as our examples to show that. What do you think a good title can be? The pearl of the world truly exists. I don't know. That's just my random. Because exists, right, means you're talking about the real world. And by having this, then it connects the story, which is the pearl of the world, a fictional thing. Alright, so let's read. I want to re-listen to the first paragraph. Let's go.
A wise man once warned, with absolute power comes absolute corruption. And this couldn't be more true. The Pearl by John Steinbeck is a profound novel that follows the unfortunate pearl diver Kino, whose discovery of the pearl of the world leads to a series of tragic events as he faces the corrupting influence on wealth and the harsh realities of having power. John Steinbeck engages the reader through various societal and human nature-related themes such as social injustice, wealth and greed, family and sacrifice, and most importantly, the destructive power of ambition. The essay will explore 3 other examples of corruption through power in real life and fictional settings in order to dive deeper into this particular evil that exists, maybe in all of us.
One thing about this, right? Even though this is really good, the evil that exists in all of us. One problem I have with it, right? If I was a teacher and I saw this, I'd be like, okay, that should then be what the whole essay is about. You know what I mean? Like, this essay then should maybe be exploring humans are like this and give examples of how we could all become like this. Kind of like Lord of the Flies. Have we read Lord of the Flies?
What's that?
苍蝇王 Lord of the Flies 另外一个经典小说 Okay, so what's that? Then you haven't read it with me. It's a really important book. So if you haven't read it, maybe that's our next book that we should read. And if you look it up in Chinese, 苍蝇王 it's very, very good. You should even go buy it. Okay, I'll maybe just tell your mom to go buy it on Taobao so you have that book with you, and we'll read it as our next book.
Okay.
So in that story, it's about a bunch of little kids who got put on an island. They fell off an airplane and all landed on an island, and so they have to survive, right? And so in order to survive, they broke up into different factions. One is a leader that cares about food, and the other one is a leader that cares only about like hunting and killing. And so that whole story is a reflection, if you go deep into the analysis of society, right? That maybe humans on Earth, like little kids on an island, right? We don't know really what's going on, and we could be just trying to figure things out, and there are people who want war, people who want to just peace. Or the second analysis to that story is maybe the whole island is in an individual, right? That at times we are very savagery, at times we are very peaceful. And so that's why that book is so classic and important. Okay? So similar to the Pearl, those themes, and if 50 years later people are still reading their books, that means it's still important. But another problem I have with this is we mentioned fictional settings, right? And so by doing that, then our title doesn't really work. You see what I mean? Like, you don't want to keep everything consistent. 不要哇，为了一个好的想法，怎么样去注意到little details in your essay that might not be cohesive. So we'll just put an asterisk here that hey, we can come up with another title. Firstly, you know what would sound better? First example, Mussolini. He was the Italian Prime Minister during World War II. Was a man transformed corrupted by power and influence. Okay, so here is kind of weird, right? Was a man transformed?
Yeah, because I want to like connect with the because
yeah, just be careful because it sounds like a pause comma. Pause comma to add more detail. Alright, so since we changed the first thing, first example, Mussolini, right? Like this is we create that tone, we create that rhythm. He was the Italian prime minister during World War II, and is a prime example of a man transformed, comma, corrupted by power and office. 你光是读这一段你就看到 rhythm is different. Right, go ahead.
First example, Mussolini. He was the Italian prime minister during World War II and is a prime example of a man transformed, corrupted by power and office.
我觉得 transformed, I think we need something before this. Give me something to describe this transformation.
Like, dramatically?
It could work. But dramatically only points to like how big the transformation is. I was thinking more like pointing to how he turned evil. Like, for example, dangerously transformed.
Yeah.
Which matches what we're talking about, right? Because when we go back here, destructive power of the vision. We have a few words that keep pointing to this whole thing is destructive and bad, apocalyptic. And that's what you want. You want to create that vibe for your readers so that they can see what you're trying to say. Alright, I think this is a good sentence. Good 2 sentences to open up this long paragraph. So we'll have to see. Maybe we gotta take some stuff out. Alright, let's go. Before the start of World War I.
Before the start of World War I.
First example, Mussolini. Second example.
Yeah.
So let's do that, but then let's add a little bit this time. Second example, Liu Bang. 什么？他是什么 right? How do we say who he is in English? Like Liu Bang is the
of like Han. H-A-N.
Okay, Han. But what, was he the emperor?
Yeah, he's the first emperor of that.
See? It's right there. Liu Bang, the first emperor of the Han Dynasty. Second example, Liu Bang, the first emperor of the Han Dynasty. Right, keep going. Oh, 因为你这边
Yeah.
We're missing this, right? Okay. Start from the very beginning.
Yeah, second example, Liu Bang, the first emperor of the Han Dynasty. Multiple similarities can also be found with him and Kino of the Perth. Most importantly, they abandoned or killed their loved ones. Their success on the road actually twists and turns. He was once chased by Xiang Yu and could only hide in the jungle. Only around 100 people followed. The good time did not last long. When Liu Bang's men found him, Xiang Yu rushed towards him with thousands of men. Liu Bang and his men quickly mounted their horses and fled. During the time, Liu Bang could only see Xiang Yu's troops getting closer and closer. Liu Bang began to panic. He thought the horse couldn't run fast because it was carrying too much weight, so he threw his baby off the horse. This action directly surprised the general following behind. But unfortunately, one general even caught the children and put them up. From Liu Bang's behavior, we can see that he is a person who can kill loved ones overpowered. Kino is similar to him. Kino beaten his wife over the pearl in the book. As Kino becomes more possessive of the pearl and his quest for power grows, he becomes paranoid and suspicious of those around him, including his wife, Wana. He began to see her as a potential threat to his new wealth. This paranoia, combined with the influence of his own greed and desire for social status, prompted Kino to commit acts of violence. Both Kino and Liu Bang nearly killed their own relatives, both in pursuit of power. The only difference between them is that Liu Bang saved his own life after doing so and eventually succeeded. Kino eventually lost power and wealth.
Wait, but didn't Liu Bang have a bad ending too?
He didn't. He had a pretty good ending.
Oh yeah, he was the Xiang Yu who had a bad ending, right?
Yeah, right.
I watched a TV drama because there are many made on Liu Bang Xiang Yu, right? But there's really good one called 楚汉，是不是叫楚汉？为什么他们叫楚汉？因为是楚国汉朝。
Yeah, right. So that's their like the name of the like. Yeah.
The history is.
Yeah, because like heard that Xiang Yu is the like is the grandson or something of like the Chu, like the like the Chu's like there's a.
But didn't he
it's a big
poor? No, but if he was related to, why did he start off so poor? Oh, he didn't, right? He was like controlling a little village or something.
Like who?
Liu Bang. When he started,
yeah, he's really poor. Like he's just like a. Wait, his first job is like our life. It's like a prison guard or something. Yeah. He just.
But he was like loved. He was more like a street leader, right? A lot of like the locals loved him and followed him. He had a strong following.
He's good at like doing propaganda.
He's good at propaganda, but I think it's because he was also a man of his word, right? Like that was why he was so successful. And it was Xiang Yu who wanted to betray him in a way.
Kind of, yeah.
But because Xiang Yu also was fighting wars for him that maybe he thought didn't make sense. And that's usually what happens, right? So 军权, 政权 is very important. You can control the government, but if you don't control your military, you can be thrown at any time. And a good example of that was, I think Thailand. Something happened in Thailand or one of those southeastern countries where the Jinzhenfu rebelled and took over the actual government, and now they're in charge. Very normal. It's very normal. Alright, so I would say your best paragraph yet, okay? Like everything, even though there are still some parts that sounds very similar to the one before, right? Like this one, desire for social status prompted Kino to commit acts of violence, but it all fits, alright? And that's what you need, right? Grab bits and pieces, put them together, and then your best sentences are the ones where you talked about both of them. And there are the ones that are the hardest to write because you almost have to think of what to write. You make that connection first, find those words, and then write them out.